While tanks may have won battles, the wheels carrying supplies often won the war. From the muddy roads outside Moscow to the shattered streets of Berlin, Soviet logistics depended on a huge variety of trucks and vehicles that kept the Red Army moving across the vast Eastern Front. Among the standard cargo trucks, the WWII became one of the most legendary machines of the war. Based on an American design, it served as the backbone of Soviet military transport. Its simple construction made it incredibly rugged, and soldiers could often repair it in the middle of a field using only basic tools. An improved version known as the GAZ-MM followed, equipped with a more powerful engine that helped it survive the harsh conditions of the front lines. These trucks became true workhorses that kept the Red Army supplied during the darkest days of the German invasion. Another important vehicle was the WWII, a three-axle version designed for better traction. The additional axle allowed it to perform far better on muddy roads and rough terrain. It was frequently used as a mobile platform for anti-aircraft guns, radio equipment, and other specialized military systems. One of the most famous Soviet trucks of the era was the ZS-5, often nicknamed the 3-ton truck. It earned a reputation for incredible reliability and could run on poor quality fuel when necessary. Despite terrible roads and brutal weather, the ZS-5 played a crucial role in transporting supplies during the long Soviet push toward Berlin. The heavier ZIS-6 six-wheel truck also became historically important. It served as the carrier for the terrifying Katyusha rocket launchers that became famous on the Eastern Front. Strong and powerful, this vehicle helped move heavy weapons and artillery across extremely difficult terrain. Another specialized vehicle was the ZIS-12, built with an extended frame designed to carry large military searchlights. These vehicles were vital for air defense units, protecting Soviet cities during nighttime bombing raids. The ZIS-32 was a rare all-wheel drive truck developed to handle the deep mud that often appeared during the spring and autumn seasons on the Eastern Front. Although it provided excellent mobility, production remained limited as wartime pressures forced factories to focus on simpler designs. Heavy transport duties were often handled by the massive Yagi-6, a 5-ton truck capable of carrying extremely heavy loads. While it was slow and somewhat cumbersome, its large carrying capacity made it essential for moving equipment that smaller trucks simply could not handle. Even larger was the YAG-10, an enormous 8-ton 3-axle truck that ranked among the largest Soviet vehicles of its time. Only a limited number were produced, but they were powerful machines used for the most demanding logistical tasks. Construction and engineering units relied heavily on the GAZ-410, a dedicated dump truck used for clearing rubble and building infrastructure. As Soviet forces advanced westward, vehicles like this helped repair roads, rebuild damaged areas, and construct new airfields for the Red Air Force. Some vehicles in service during the war were already outdated before the conflict began. One example was the AMOF-15, the first truck ever mass-produced in the Soviet Union. Although old by World War II standards, many remained in service for secondary duties, representing the earliest stage of Soviet automotive development. The AMO-2 introduced more modern production techniques and served as an important bridge between early Soviet vehicles and the more advanced trucks of the 1940s. Its successor, the AMO-3, proved reliable and became the direct predecessor of the famous ZIS-5. Another specialized vehicle was the GAZTK, a 3-axle truck designed specifically for rough terrain. It could operate better off-road than many standard trucks and often carried fuel tanks, radio systems, or other specialized equipment. Due to severe fuel shortages during the war, the Soviets also developed alternative fuel vehicles. The Gazi-42 was one such truck that ran on wood gas rather than gasoline. It carried a furnace unit on the side that burned wood blocks to generate fuel for the engine. Although slow and underpowered, it allowed vehicles to continue operating when liquid fuel was unavailable. Similarly, the GAZ-43 used compressed gas as an alternative fuel source. Vehicles like this played a quiet but vital role in maintaining supply lines during critical moments of the war. Another wood gas-powered vehicle was the ZIS-21, easily recognized by the large gas generator canisters mounted on its sides. These trucks proved especially useful in remote regions, where conventional fuel supplies were difficult to obtain. Winter and muddy conditions led to the development of half-track vehicles as well. The GAZ-60 replaced its rear wheels with tracks, allowing it to travel across deep snow and icy terrain where normal trucks would quickly become stuck. An early heavy half-track design was the ZS-22, which initially suffered from reliability problems but helped pave the way for later, more successful designs. The experimental ZIS-33 used removable track units that could be fitted over the wheels when needed. While not particularly durable, it provided additional traction during the worst mud seasons. One of the most successful designs was the ZIS-42, a half-track truck capable of operating in extremely harsh environments. Its wide tracks allowed it to glide across snow and mud while towing heavy artillery pieces. Light vehicles and staff cars also played an important role in Soviet operations. The WWII, based on an American design, became the first mass-produced passenger car in the Soviet Union and served as a staff car during the early years of the war. The GAZ M1, often called the MK, became the most common Soviet staff car. Known for its durability and simple mechanics, it transported commanders and officials across thousands of miles of rough roads. A more powerful version, the GAZ 1173, featured a six-cylinder engine and was often reserved for higher-ranking officials who required faster transportation. Another useful vehicle was the GAZ M415, a pickup version of the popular GAZ sedan that provided light cargo transport for supplies and messengers. The GAZ-61 became the first Soviet four-wheel drive passenger car. Its off-road capability made it especially useful for high-ranking commanders traveling close to the front lines. The small but rugged GAZ-64 Scout car was developed extremely quickly and served as the Soviet equivalent to the American Jeep. Its successor, the GAZ-67, featured a wider track for better stability and was often used to tow light artillery. For the highest government officials, luxury vehicles such as the ZIS-101 limousine provided transportation even during wartime. Heavy artillery required powerful tractors to move it across the battlefield. The small armored T-20 Komsomolets tractor was widely used for towing light anti-tank guns while offering some protection to its crew. Agricultural machines were also adapted for military use. The STZ-3 tractor, originally designed for farming, proved reliable when pulling heavy equipment, despite its slow speed. A military-specific version known as the STZ-5 became a standard artillery tractor used throughout the war. Larger tractors such as the Stalinets S-60 and Stalinets S-65 were capable of hauling extremely heavy artillery pieces. The S-65's diesel engine allowed it to perform well even in severe winter conditions. The Stalinets S-2 offered improved speed compared to earlier heavy tractors, allowing artillery units to relocate more quickly during fast-moving offensives. Massive machines like the Komintern and Voroshilovets were among the most powerful artillery tractors used by the Soviet Union. These vehicles could tow the heaviest guns across terrain that would stop ordinary trucks. Motorcycles also played an important role. The M72 heavy motorcycle, inspired by German designs, became a staple of Soviet reconnaissance units. Equipped with a sidecar that could carry a machine gun, it proved highly versatile in combat. Other motorcycles included the TIZ-AM600, PMZ-A 750, IZH-8, and the lightweight L-300, often called the Red October. These machines carried scouts, couriers, and officers across long distances. Support vehicles were also essential. The GAZ-0330 served as the most common troop transport bus, while the GAZ-55 functioned as a battlefield ambulance carrying wounded soldiers away from combat. Heavier buses like the ZIS-8 and ZIS-16 were used for troop movement and mobile command centers. Specialized vehicles such as the BZ-38U and BZ-42 fuel tankers kept tanks and trucks supplied with fuel near the front lines. Mobile repair workshops like PARM-1 and PARM-2 allowed mechanics to fix damaged vehicles directly in the field. Emergency vehicles such as the PMZ-2 fire truck helped extinguish fires caused by bombing raids, while communication vehicles like the RSBF mobile radio station kept high command connected with frontline units. Finally, in the frozen northern regions, the Soviets used unique snow vehicles known as aerosleds. The NKL-16 was a propeller-driven sled capable of racing across snow at high speed, while the armored NKL-26 carried a machine gun and served as a deadly winter reconnaissance vehicle. Another lightweight design, the RF-8, acted as a fast snow glider used for scouting and message delivery across the frozen tundra. Together, these trucks, tractors, cars, and specialized vehicles formed the logistical backbone of the Soviet war effort. While tanks and artillery captured the headlines, it was these machines, hauling supplies, towing guns, carrying soldiers, and keeping armies moving, that helped the Soviet Union ultimately win the war.